Okay, part 5. Let's continue our presentation. So this time around in this part 5, I'm going to look at Kiswahili phonetic phonetically, which means that I'm going to look at how Kiswahili sounds and it's phonologically. And this means that I'll look at Swahili words that are pronounced similar to many South African languages. So the main South African language that I'll choose, like I said, Sotho, Tswana, Ngunis, Vendas, and Tsongas. You know, if you look at Kiswahili semantics, and for those who have no ideas what is the meaning of semantics, uh, uh, it's a philosophy of which deal with the meanings and understanding of languages. So, and then just to return back to the first term that I actually another term that which is linked to linguistics that I explained. I mentioned the term like term like taxonomy, and I also mentioned the term phonetics and then which is dealing with the sound and phonologically the words how words are similar how as they are pronounced similarly. So that's in this context, in this particular context. Whereas semantics, it's a philosophy of language which deal with the meaning and understanding of particular language. In this regard, I'm referring to Kiswahili. I think I come to conclusion that Kiswahili have connection with South African languages, main South African languages. Both language of South Africans have connection to both language of Khoisan and South African have connection with Great Lakes regions. So therefore, we need to examine the morphology of Khoisan languages, specifically focusing how they acquired Khoisan acquired these cliques and adopted them and used them in their languages. For example, their Nguni language, like Xhosa, has got some cliques there. There must be a study, how did they acquire these languages? But this is not for today. My today presentation is focusing on Kiswahili, the relevance of Kiswahili in South Africa. Let me go back to Kiswahili and its link to South African languages that I've already mentioned. From onomastic point of view, onomastic for those who have never studied linguistics, it's the study of names of animals, of human, or people, or of people rather. It is clear from onomastic point of view that Kiswahili language has African roots, not Arabs. Though Arabs nurtured it, but it dominated by Africans languages. So I'll do this, I'll give an example in relation to South Africa. For example, there's a phrase in Kiswahili which goes like "Hakuna matata," which means no trouble. If you ask any black South African, you say "Hakuna matata," he will understand what you're talking about, because that thing they can relate to. In the Bantu language, you will understand. In Chivenda, Sotho, Tswana, you will understand what somebody's saying. If you say "Hakuna matata," which is a Swahili phrase which means no trouble. Here are the few furthermore, here are the few examples that actually clearly connect Kiswahili with South African major languages or languages that are spoken by South African black people. For example, in Kiswahili, the noun nguruwe, in Kiswahili, a pig is called nguruwe. In Xitsonga, it's called nguluve. In Nguni language, inguluve. In Sotho, Tswana, kolobe. In Tshivenda, nguluve. You can see the relationship. Snake in Kiswahili is called nyoka. Kiswahili name for snake is nyoka. In Xitsonga, Xitsonga nyoka, isiZulu inyoka. Isotho-Tswana language Noah. Those are in Tshivenda Noah. So there's a similarities here. Dog in Kiswahili is called mbya. In Xitsonga mbyana. In isiZulu inja. In Sotho-Tswana mja. In Tshivenda mbya. Buffalo in Kiswahili it's called nyati. In isiZulu it's called nyati. In Shangaan, in Shangaan it's called nyati. In Xitsonga it's called nyahi. In Sotho-Tswana languages it's called nari. In Tshivenda it's called nari. Goat in Kiswahili, can you believe it? Goat in Kiswahili is called mbuzi. Mbuzi in Shangaan. In Nguni languages, it's called imbuzi. In Sotho-Tswana language, kipudi, pudi. In Tshivenda, similar to Swahili, mbuzi. The clothes that we are wearing in Kiswahili is called nguo. In Xitsonga, it's called nguvo. In Xitsonga, it's nguvo. In Nguni, it's nguvo. In Sotho-Tswana, uvo. In Tshivenda, nguvo. Water that we drink. In Kiswahili, maji. In Xitsonga, mati. In isiZulu, amanzi. And in Sotho-Tswana languages, metsi. In Tshivenda, madi. Mother. In Kiswahili, if you call your mother, it's mama. In Xitsonga, mama. In Nguni, mama, umama. In Sotho-Tswana, mma. In Tshivenda, mme, umma. So, fathers, baba. In Kiswahili, in Xitsonga, it's papa. Papa. In Xitsonga. In Nguni language, baba. And then in Sotho-Tswana, papa. In Tshivenda, baba. Rain in Kiswahili language, mvua. In Xitsonga, mvula. In isiZulu, Nguni languages, imvula. In Sotho-Tswana languages, pula. In Tshivenda, mvula. Chicken. You know, if you go speak Swahili, it's a chicken. Chicken is called kuku. In Shangaan, in Xitsonga, huku. In isiZulu, inkuku. In Sotho-Tswana language, kgogo. In Tshivenda, kuhu. You see the similarities. You know, the numbers is like 3. In Kiswahili, 3 is tatu. Nanu in Shangaan is in tatu in isiZulu. Taru, Sotho-Tswana languages. Taru in Tshivenda. 10 in Kiswahili, kumi. In Xitsonga, kumi, similar to Swahili. In isiZulu, Nguni languages, shumi. In Sotho-Tswana, lesumi. Venda, fumi, in Tshivenda. So there's a similarities, as you can see. Let me go on and give another number. Mbili, mbili, 2, mbili. 2 is mbili in Kiswahili. Mbihi in Tsonga. Mbili in Nguni's languages. Pedi in Sotho-Tswana. Mbili in Tshivenda. Similar, they are related. So a Swahili person will understand what African, South African, Bantu are saying. Now, 5 in Kiswahili is tanu. And in Xitsonga, tlanu. In Nguni's, tlanu. In Sotho-Tswana, tlanu. In Tshivenda, tlanu. Now, coming to conclusions, there is much evidence to suggest that Kiswahili is a Bantu languages which amalgamate different language together. Therefore, the Department of Basic Education, they have got point. They have a point here. Kiswahili can be used in social cohesion and promote and foster um, unities among Africans. Can you believe when you communicate in Kiswahili? It's a common language. It's actually originated in Africa. The fact that it was used by Arabs to communicate with Africans, Arab knew that. Most Arabs were clever. They knew that Africans' languages are similar. The best way to do business with Africans, we have to use one language, which has got words in Bantu languages. So Arabs were not stupid. They were very intelligent. This could lead us to believe that Great Lakes of Africa, its origins of the Bantu languages. Arab knew about this. That's why they use Kiswahili to communicate with blacks. So adoption of Kiswahili in South Africa is not Islamization, it's not Arabization, it's not recolonization. Therefore, it has got good. It's a good project to educate black South Africans. You know, before I conclude, I just want to explain here that though the Kiswahili was associated with crime, criminals, now black people are in charge. It's post-colonialism. We've got resources. We as Africans, we need to write well to develop a standard Kiswahili that will not actually portray us in negative ways. However, if they are the black people who have done something bad, we are not saying the people must not write negatives about the blacks. It's actually good, but the thing is that we need to write positive things that Kiswahili can do to our life. I personally support the development of Kiswahili as one of African languages, simply because, as I give example, it's connect well with South African languages. If somebody is speaking Kiswahili, the black South African can pick some stuff there because it's a Bantu language. So Arab knew that the best way to connect Africans is to use their own languages. So the only thing that is not African is the word Swahili. It's not African, it's Arab. But the contents, the words that are used in the Kiswahili languages are Africans, entire Africans. Most of them are Africans. They connect. Just imagine I'm based in South Africa. If some Swahili speakers in Tanzania say he's going to be eating nguruwe, I know that he's talking about pig. Chakula is to eat. Mbuzi, it's a goat. Nguo is a clothes. Amachi, it's a Betsy. Watches. Father, Papa, rain, vua. Chicken, kuku. 3, 3, kumi. 10, mbili, 2, 5, that's 5, dog, mga, snake, nyoka. So I can relate to those things. The easy term you can define. You can, even wherever you are, if somebody is in Groove, you can answer snake, nyoka, what's in mbya, nyati, what is nyati, mbuzi, nguo, machi, mama, baba, mvua, kuku, 3, 4, 2, 5. What is that? You can answer if you are South Africans. Hakuna matata. Guys, until we meet again with another subject, I'm done for today. Thank you for listening to my presentation about languages. Sorry about that.